Fellow citizens, this country has been getting free advice ever since we signed that Exxon contract in 2016 from well-informed people on how to change it to help the starving nation. The latest advice was from Dr. Vivian Williams, a Guyanese lawyer living in New York. He said that both governments misapplied the sanctity of contract doctrine to avoid acting in the nation's best interests, and explain what sanctity of contract means. He said, it is an agreement made freely, knowingly, and fairly by competent parties. You hear that, guys? An agreement made freely, knowingly, and fairly by competent parties. Only then the doctrine of sanctity of contract can be applied. Now, let's see how Trotman fits into those categories when he signed the 2016 contract. Trotman himself said he was instructed and directed to sign that contract. So was that contract signed freely? Definitely no. Did Trotman know anything about the oil industry other than Exxon said him find oil? Definitely, again, the answer is no. Is both parties receiving a fair share of this oil wealth through that contract? Absolutely no. Guyana is getting 2% royalty with a deceiving and deceitful 50-50 profit-sharing arrangement. Only after 75% of the oil money are taken out up front, then the remaining 25% is split 12.5 and 12.5 between Guyana and ExxonMobil. So Exxon is walking away with 85.5%, while Guyana gets 14.5%. And out of that 14.5%, Guyana has to pay the oil companies taxes. Is that fair? Did Trotman and those who directed and instructed him to sign that contract competent enough at the time? Again, fellow citizens, absolutely no. So there we go. The contract was not made freely, knowingly and fairly by competent people. And our hands are not handcuffed. We are not chained to a concrete post. So what is stopping us from changing it? Another Guyanese, Vincent Adams, said when the contract was signed, it was based on 1 billion barrels of oil. From then to now, we have discovered 10 billion barrels more, which is 10 times more. So what are we waiting for, guys? Is this not enough reason to drag ExxonMobil back to the negotiating table? Isn't it time we nail a pail and stave in the heart of sanctity of contract and bury it in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? It doesn't exist. It doesn't apply. The agreement was not made freely, knowingly and fairly by competent people. It's a fraudulent contract and a heinous crime committed against the Guyanese people. Come on. Come on, guys. A man pressure you to sign a contract that only he knows all the ins and outs of what the deal means, in which he takes full advantage of you. How can that ever be free and fair? And why shouldn't we renegotiate it? We are not handcuffed to the contract. So what is preventing Jagdeo from calling for a change? As he himself knows very well, the contract didn't bind us for life. It has a clause that speaks of renegotiation. Why not use it? Why not jump on it? Uncle, your guess is as good as mine. This is a message from Glenn Lall. Please share it.